Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about batteries, and specifically batteries that you need to use to power your radio control equipment. For a model such as this, the standard fare that I've always reached for have been a pack such as this. These are a nickel metal hydride pack. Formerly there would be nickel cadmium, and this happens to be a 5-cell pack, but they also come in 4-cell packs. Another option to power up the radio equipment might be a 2-cell LiPo pack such as this, but there's a new kid on the block, and that new type of battery are the LiFe batteries, and today I'll be discussing some of the advantages in using them over the two types of batteries I've just shown you. So get your favourite tipple in hand, sit back, and let's talk about batteries. Well, you may ask yourself, why are we looking at a box like this? Well, I have to be upfront and say that this is because HobbyKing contacted me and asked if I would collaborate in promoting their batteries. Now, that was very flattering, especially as the very first plane I ever purchased was the Tundra version 2. And I learned to fly on that and did my first solo flight on that using HobbyKing batteries. So I was very flattered. However, I initially said to them that I didn't think it was particularly a good fit for this channel. I don't want to promote things that don't go well with the channel, or that don't go well with the sort of people who watch the channel. So you're not going to see me lifting up suddenly and endorsing a skateboard or a barbecue, for example. But what I said was, I don't fly a lot of electric, so I don't know if it would really fit well. However, I did say that I was very interested in the LiFe batteries. Now, the reason for that is that I've experienced, or I've witnessed a couple of times at the flying field where nickel hydride battery packs have gone down, and luckily both times it occurred, the failure of a cell within the pack happened on the ground and the model wasn't lost. And I've also experienced some horror stories with LiPo batteries, and they're not a great fit for radio control equipment. A 2S pack is 7.2 volts, whereas a 2-cell LiFe battery pack is 6.6. More of that in a moment. So let's do a classic unboxing, because I've agreed to look at these LiFe batteries for HobbyKing and Turnigy, and towards the end of the video I'm going to show you a code that you can use, and if you use it to purchase anything from the HobbyKing catalogue, obviously including batteries, but also anything in the range, there'll be something comes towards the channel for me, and you'll also get a 5% discount. So it's a win-win. Let's do a classic unboxing then. So I believe there are 2 batteries in here. Now, let's have a look. Right, there we go. 2 batteries, we'll discard that. 2 packs, we only need to look at one of them. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little bit more closely. So here we have the actual battery, Turnigy Nanotech high discharge LiFe battery, 2.2 or 2200 milliamps at 30C discharge. And you can see the voltage for 2S cells is 6.6 volts. This particular one suits my needs. It comes with a standard Futaba plug end with a balance lead, and there's also an additional small micro connector. I'm assuming that would be useful in something like trucks or cars for lighting up the lights on them. Okay, very compact, and I'm about to compare them with the 2 batteries that we started looking at, and let's compare them in terms of weight. Well, turn our attention to these two batteries here. On the face of it, 2,200 milliamps, 2,200 milliamps. This one's a LiPo, this one's a LiFe. You can see straight away there's a difference in the size of them. Let's just check the weight. Bear with me. Well, I've introduced the other pack there, so let's just see how the weight works out. So for this, this particular one is 2,100 milliamps, so a little bit less, but very compatible to it. A 6-volt pack, and it weighs 138. I'll put that on properly. 140 grams, let's call that. The LiPo pack, 129, 130 grams. And the LiFe pack, 111 grams. So out of the 3 options of a battery pack for very similar power, it's the lightest of the 3. So that's an immediate practical advantage for anybody flying a model aircraft. You don't want dead weight. And although the battery can be used to distribute within the fuselage to give you a good CG, let's not make life hard for ourselves. This is a lighter option out of the 3 types of battery here. The main thing to consider for me is that once charged, you can charge it, leave it, forget about it. And that's certainly not the case with a LiPo battery. If this isn't discharged and put into storage mode, you're going to face problems of puffing. The cells could die. You could have problems with one cell. I'm sure if you fly with anybody that flies electric, or if you fly yourself, you know when a battery pack begins to sag, and suddenly you can have one cell that drops down way below the others. And that's more likely to happen if you abuse them. And by abuse them, I mean after every flight, if not used, you don't discharge them, which seems to take forever. They've got lots of disadvantages. These I've been using for years and years, and I've been lucky because on 2 occasions, as I've already mentioned, I've seen fellow club members where one of the cells has just suddenly died on them. And they were very lucky because on both occasions it happened when they were on the deck and they hadn't actually taken off. They'd had a flight, come down, had a bit nattered with the lads, had a refueling, got ready to take off, and then suddenly they had no control. And on both occasions, when they got back to the workshop and they were able to check the pack out carefully, they discovered that one of the cells had suddenly dropped. Now, another advantage of the LiFe packs is that they have a very flat discharge rate, and that means it's consistently putting out the same output, which is obviously what you're looking for in any battery pack. Of course, the 6.6 is much better suited than 7.2 that you would have here, and you've just got a little bit more juice than the 6-volt pack that you get with a 5-cell pack here. If you have a 4-cell pack, you're losing some of the voltage, and it's a little bit marginal on larger models. I do use smaller packs on my vintage models, but for a 1/6 scale model such as I showed you at the beginning there, you really should be looking at 5-cell packs. Now this is going to go into my Fokker DR1. It's nitro, so I don't need a second battery, but if it was petrol, this would also drive the ignition system very, very well. For my other DR1, where it's a petrol driven, I'm going to use 2 of these packs, one for the radio equipment and one to drive the ignition system. So you need a charger that will charge these LiFe battery packs. You can't simply charge them on a LiPo setup, and that shouldn't put you off, because Many standard chargers have built in them the capacity to charge a LiFe battery, and I'm going to demonstrate how you do that next. So this is the charger that I've used for a long time now. It's a LiPo balanced charger, and on the face of it, it doesn't seem to have the capacity to charge a LiFe battery, because we're on LiPo here, and if I go through the battery types, nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, lead, save data, load data, program, and then we're back to LiPo. So where is the LiFe battery charging setup? Well, what you need to do is go through till you get to program, press start. That brings us to LiPo type 3.7 volts. If I press start again, it'll flash. And then if I press the back arrow, it turns to LiFe. And you'll notice that that's now flashing at 3.3. Press enter. Happy with that. Stop, back to program, go through. We're now set up for a LiFe battery charge. Let's get that done. You always charge these batteries at the 1C rate. So let's demonstrate. First thing, put a suitable connector on. Make sure the polarity is correct. And your charger would normally warn you in a violent beep if you got it wrong. And put in the 2-cell balance lead, as I have there. So go to charge. It's going to charge to a maximum of 6.2 volts, 2S. It's at 2.2 amps, which is the 1C rating. Let's go in a little bit closer so you can see. There you go. Checking. Enter. And there's the charge. And if you want to see the individual cells, there you go. There's the individual cells. So within this charger itself, you have the capacity to charge a LiFe battery. But what you need to do is ensure that you've gone through the program and set it to the correct type. Okay? So there we go. We now know how to charge that safely. And once it's charged up, I'm going to install it into the DR1. Big plane. I want a reliable source of power, and this Turnigy battery from HobbyKing is going to provide me with exactly what I need. Well, here you go. I've got the DR1 on its side, and I'm going to install it in this location here. You'll notice that this nickel metal hydride battery is simply cable tied on. It's not good practice, that, because it means that I can't easily take the battery out to charge it. And what I will be doing is making a little box for the LiFe battery that the battery can go into for flight and can be removed easily for charging purposes, and that way I can safely use the balance lead and the charging jack all neatly and carefully. I haven't ignored the instructions. The instructions are generic instructions referring to any charging of batteries, and if you're brand new to this hobby, I would recommend that you give them a read before you get started. I did say that there's a code. If you use it and you decide to purchase some of these batteries, or for that matter, any product from the HobbyKing range, and you use the code in capital letters MCRCHK, and it should be appearing on screen, and it will be in the description, along with the affiliation link, you'll get a 5% discount. And some of that will come in my direction as well, and that'll help the channel enormously. So I hope you've found this little excursion into batteries useful. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. and good luck, and let's be creative, folks.